Hi, it's Rebecca, and welcome back to another edition of Bible Study Snapshots. This week, we'd like to take a look at the life of Moses just briefly and talk about how he was willing to be used in the fall season of his life. And remember, we talked about the fall season of our lives, which from some vantage points, it would be a time whenever we should relax and retire and just not participate so much. But let's look at Moses, the life of Moses, and how God used him at a later stage of life. Let's look at the book of Exodus in the Old Testament. Of course, that's the second book of the Bible. Exodus, the 6th chapter, starting with the 28th verse. And it says, "Now when the Lord spoke to Moses in Egypt, he said to him, I am the Lord. Tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, everything I tell you." But Moses said to the Lord, "Since I speak with faltering lips, why would Pharaoh listen to me?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have made you like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet. You are to say everything I command you, and your brother Aaron is to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go out of his country. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you. Then I will lay my hand on Egypt, and with mighty acts of judgment I will bring out my divisions, my people, the Israelites. And the Egyptians will know I am the Lord when I stretch out my hand against Egypt and bring the Israelites out of it." Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. And that is the end of our reading through verse 6 of the 7th chapter of Exodus. So we know that at this time the Israelites were settled in Egypt as a result of a famine that had occurred in the land of Canaan where they had settled. So they were now situated in Egypt and were slaves and under great oppression by Pharaoh. And as we see in these verses, God asks and taps Moses to be the one that would lead the Israelites out of slavery, out of Egypt. So today's lesson is just another reminder that all of us who have hearts that are open to God's leading can be used in any season of life, but I especially want to speak to the fall season of life. If you are that person that's at a later stage of life, or if you know of someone that has deemed themselves unworthy of being used by God or maybe overlooked by God, ask them to read this scripture and to be reminded that God uses us up until the very last breath that we breathe as we look to Him. So today's lesson was great fun. I look forward to talking with you again next week on Bible Study Snapshots. Thanks so much.